Okay, where do I start here? Okay, so I call you for encouragement. Oh, yeah, okay. Haha, sorry we aren't cowards like you no matter what we fight for our country. To which I said, yeah, because look what speaking, telling the truth, and protesting has gotten you. You guys don't learn. So you're calling me a coward from this? Um, that doesn't really make any sense. Well, A, you're not telling me how I'm explaining how I'm a coward, and B, what does cowardice have to do with a criticism that you guys are calling for all this? Meanwhile, I told you that, or criticized that, protesting has gotten you. Donald Trump is now president a second time, and MAGA is just taking the U.S. over with its fascist insanity. But that somehow I'm a coward. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's a non sequitur. Um, I'm criticizing you for being a coward, and yet you're trying to turn this around on me somehow. Somehow I'm the coward. Yeah, sorry we aren't cowards. Like, how am I a fucking coward? That doesn't make any sense. No matter what we fight for our country. I just told you that speaking, telling the truth, and protesting is not fighting. Well, it might be fighting, but it's not the proper way to fight. You're not making any sense. Aside from not telling me how I'm a coward. Um, Protesting and speaking the truth is always commendable. Is it? Are they? Really? Based on what? Uh, United States isn't exactly full of people who are dignified and people of integrity and honesty and everything else. Especially not now. My reply to that. So I call you out for encouragement of doing the minimal, especially as the US is facing a fucking dictator now arresting politicians, and you try to turn this around on me, calling me the coward. You know I have a point. You know I have a point, so you turn this around on me, man. Meanwhile, you guys are the ones who would never enact the Second Amendment. That's what I'm getting at. You're calling me the coward, but you guys would never enact the Second Amendment. Now, what does that mean exactly? I don't know what enacting the Second Amendment would entail, but my idea or vision of it would be to, in an organized fashion, while it would require some organizing first through the internet or wherever, and as a group march on over to the, well, not even march, just go to the Capitol building where the Congress is, and then force people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert out, along with every other, well, especially them is what I'm saying. Only become violent if necessary. No, you weren't fighting for the country. You were yelling at people who don't give it. Yeah, who don't care but don't want. No, you weren't fighting for the country. You were yelling at people who not only don't care, but want to step on your neck. That's what Donald wants to do and is doing. So going all the way to yeah, well, it's only 5 replies. So I'm used to it being about 30, 40, or 50 replies, even 100. But anyway, never stop speaking, telling the truth, and protest people. You have the power to resist, so do such. And what do you expect resistance to do, to accomplish? There is a dictator in office, and he has many followers who are psychotic. He has an army of his own, ICE. Okay, so yeah, so that was, you're not making any sense, JGG. and all you did was turn it around on me by calling me the coward. Meanwhile, I'm essentially calling you the coward. You're doing these, speaking, telling the truth, and protesting, which will never get you anywhere, especially not in a state of a dictator. Instead of enacting the Second Amendment. Of course, I don't think you guys can get away with that now either. So, yeah.